Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Speakeasy, sophisticated sports talk with the best in the game. I'm the man behind the bar, Care Bear Kieran. Happy to join you here on a beautiful Tuesday afternoon. Actually, it's evening. It's very much evening right now. It's evening right now. I'm joined here with two of the best in the game. We got to start off with the creator of this here show, the man who funded this entire studio and puts money in my pockets every week. I'm very happy for your existence, Emmanuel Acho. How we doing?
Hey, we got a show. I heard y'all was waiting already. Get the chat popping. Get the chat popping right now. We also got a Bengals legend in the building, but I'm not going to spoil it, Care Bear. I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to do it.
I'm being called Charmin Bear already. We're going to ignore that because we got a guest up in the building. Very special guest. I'm talking about Cincinnati Bengals legend, TJ. Who's your mama? Who's Spinzada? What's going on, TJ? How we doing, man?
Hey, take a round of applause, please.
Come on, round of applause, please. Let's get one.
Yeah, round of applause for everybody. Yeah.
T,
my dog.
what up? What?
Yeah.
Hey, there's no better day to have a Bengals legend in the building than when you have a gigantic trade that shakes up the whole world of the NFL and has gigantic domino effects. Care Bear, what's on the menu?
Yes, well, we have a lot on the menu, but like you said, we have to start with what's going on in Cincinnati now. In the state of Ohio, there's been some crazy news. The Bengals have traded for one Joe Flacco, and they're looking for him to get out there and play here pretty soon. The question for you guys is, can Joe Flacco lead this Bengals offense to the playoffs, maybe?
I think that he can lead them far enough for Burrow to come back. Last I heard, Burrow's supposed to come back early December, if I'm not mistaken. And you know Joe Burrow, he an absolute trooper. But given the Bengals schedule, and we'll pull it up so y'all can see it as well. Given the Bengals' upcoming schedule, I believe their next 5 games, you have the Steelers, you have the Bears, you have the Steelers, you have the Patriots, and I believe you have the Jets. I think you have the Steelers, the Bears, the Steelers, the Patriots, the Jets. Care Bear, when you have a moment, pull that schedule up. Rome, let the people see the schedule. So the upcoming, after you have the Green Bay Packers, you got Steelers, Jets, Bears, Steelers, Patriots, and even the Ravens. All games that are winnable. I don't think they will win all of those games, but they're all games that are winnable. T, if they can go 4-2 in that stretch after the Packers, if you can beat the Steelers, beat the Jets, beat the Bears, maybe you lose to the Steelers, maybe you lose to the Patriots, beat the Ravens, all of a sudden, you're heading into Joe Flacco territory at 500. So if you can get to, Joe Burrow territory. So if you can get into Joe Burrow territory at 500, I think they're going to be all right. You know the Bengals better than anybody on television. Talk to us, bro.
So I'm looking at the schedule.
Yes, sir.
If Joe comes back, Buffalo, that's December 7th. Because we'll play Baltimore, then I believe, that's a Thursday night game, so they extended bye week.
Yep.
We just need Flacco win us 3 games.
3 of the next 6.
The next 7 games.
Rome, throw that schedule back up there for the people.
The next
Throw that
7
schedule back
games.
up there.
He's got to get through. He's got to get through Thanksgiving.
If Flacco can go 3-4,
Okay.
we got a chance. Cause Joe gonna be ready.
Yep.
For me, is this. This will be the best collection of receivers that Flacco has ever played with in his career.
Good.
And I played for Flacco. I played with Flacco. And I say that in all honesty. This will be the best group of receivers that he's ever had to play with.
Yeah.
And so for me, it comes down to one thing. Can the Bengals offensive line protect him? If you keep Flacco upright, he going to throw some dimes. And that to me is my only concern. Can they keep him upright? Flacco got big arm.
Yep.
You got 2 guys on the outside that's been frustrated.
Yep.
You got 2 guys, you just by their body language. Bro, when they saw that trade, they just smiled. They just smiled. Because now the ball's going to get pushed down the field. The ball on an out route is not going to be left inside. And I was one that Jake Brown, I was like, oh, he at least going to go 500. Couldn't do it. Couldn't get it done. And they gave him a lot of rope. But I'm excited to see.
But why are we supposed to believe that Joe Flacco, who had a good run game in Cleveland, because Quinshon Judkins was coming on, who had a good run game in Cleveland, why are we supposed to believe that Joe Flacco in Cincy can make any noise because that Cincy defense, it's been average at best. Outside of Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, there's not a lot of great things going on in Cincy at all whatsoever, period. So are we just holding on to hope? Or are you like, no, Acho, if you protect Flacco, he can put up 24 to 27 points. Bengals can win a couple games.
Oh, if he's protected, he putting up 24 minimum every game. The reason you get excited for Flacco is because the Bengals don't have Cleveland's defense. They know, and Zach Taylor, we got to score points.
Yeah.
Cleveland Browns, because they have that defense.
Yeah.
Stefanski may be a little lenient on some of the play calls and how aggressive he is. I just feel like, no disrespect to the Cleveland Browns and what they have, they don't have on offense what the Bengals have.
Yeah, fair. Absolutely true.
I think this does cause it's going to create a question for the Browns. I think in this scenario, if Joe Flacco does go out there and play well, Kevin Stefanski, what were we doing? Because I watched the offense be able to move the ball at times. Now, obviously, they weren't winning games, but I saw other quarterbacks be able to move the football. If he's able to go to the Bengals and have some success, and the Browns quarterback situation still continues to be as bad as it was before, like you said, you're gonna have Kevin Stefanski is gonna have some questions to answer. I want to know though, fellas, what do y'all make of the Bengals looking to start him this week against the Packers? Now we know he already has a victory over the Packers. He was out there for it. He participated in the victory over the Packers, but he's looking to play this week.
Here's what I think, and I love and live by this saying: if y'all don't hear nothing else today, hear this. Noah didn't wait till it started raining to build the ark. And Zach Taylor has waited for a flood to now start hammering nails in. Zach Taylor at the podium at the end of last game, not 2 days ago, but 9 days ago, you saw it. He said to all the reporters, he said that Jake Browning is our quarterback. I'm committed to Jake Browning. Jake Browning is our guy. I love that front-facing commitment. But somebody can't be your guy, and then you trade for somebody else and start that same somebody else 4 days after you trade for that person if you're that committed to Jake Browning. If you're willing to move off of Jake Browning after 4 quarters, if you're willing to move off of Jake Browning after 60 minutes, then you better have had that other alternative in the building. This is the NFL, bro. This ain't Sierra Canyon High School. Like, this is the NFL. You can't bring another guy in from another building and start him immediately with the expectation of winning. Not saying you can't win. We saw Josh Dobbs do it with the Minnesota Vikings last year. Not saying the impossible can't happen. We saw Baker Mayfield do it with the Rams about 4 years ago. But that's unfair to the other players in the organization to say, hey, this week, it's Joe Flacco. Jamar Chase may have never have met Joe Flacco in his life. And Joe Flacco going to be in the huddle? You speak to it, T. I mean, you're a wide receiver. Is that an unrealistic expectation?
It isn't. It isn't. And what Zach Taylor did, all that is coach speak. I know we're trying to acquire a quarterback, but I must say he's my quarterback just in case we don't acquire said quarterback.
Yeah, okay.
He must do that. You have to keep the confidence of Jake Browning because if I say, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do, he may not be the quarterback next week, and we don't get Flacco, then where do I go? I've lost the confidence of my starting quarterback. And so for me, Jake Browning, I believe, has 8 interceptions. He's second in the league behind Geno Smith, and you ain't played nowhere near the snaps as everybody else.
It's a really good point.
So to the team, this gives the team confidence. Like, oh, the Bengals is going all in. They feel like we got a chance this year. The Bengals don't do this. When we seen the Bengals make a trade like this, they don't do these type of things. And so if you're a Bengal, you know that they feel like there's a chance. And hey, Flacco gonna know what he doing. He gonna equate, okay, the Bengals call this play Speakeasy. In Cleveland, we called it trap. Okay, I got it.
Yeah. Let's cook on this real quick. I love this show for this moment. And if y'all have tapped in just right now, you're coming into the best part of the show. Speaking in different NFL playbooks is like speaking different languages. But it's not necessarily like a Nigerian dialect to an American dialect. It's like Spanish to Portuguese. Spanish to Italian. There can be a little bit of carryover.
Yes.
Like, for example, one call might be Ohio Pack Trio. The O in Ohio stands for the open side outside linebacker. You're rushing. Pack might be cover 6. You pack like you pack a dip in your cheek. It might be cover 6. Trio might be cover 3. Ohio Pack Trio. That same call in another language might be eagle wide, open me, 63. Eagle wide is the front. Open me. Hey, open rusher. That O in Ohio, open me. Open rusher, you're going. 6, pack is cover 6. 6, 3. Trio is cover 3. So Eagle Wide Open Me 63 is the exact same call as Ohio Pack Trio. Ohio Pack Trio is in one language. Eagle Wide Open Me 63 is in another language. So if you can hear, oh, Ohio, open me, cool. 63, great. Pack Trio, oh, Pack is 6, Trio's 3. Same 2 play calls I just gave you, sound completely different, but a veteran can understand how to dissect one language into another language. So though it's a completely different playbook with completely different verbiage, as soon as you can hear, okay, the O in Ohio, open side rusher, oh, open me, oh, 63, Pack Trio, Pack is 6, 3s, got it. Good to go. So the smart players like a Joe Flacco, like T's alluding to, they will be able to understand the difference in language of Stefanski to Zach Taylor and go out there in 4 days and maybe play a competent ball game.
Yeah, I mean, with a guy like Joe Flacco at 40 years old in the league, I mean, since I was a small child, he was back there playing with you, TJ. It's crazy. That was a long time ago.
Okay.
No disrespect. No disrespect.
It was.
But no, it was a long time ago.
it's-
I think he's not going to have that much trouble picking up whatever they're trying to run this weekend against the Packers. It's going to be a tough adjustment. But I also think, like you said, Zach Taylor had to instill some sort of confidence in Browning. I think he never really thought Browning was going to be the guy. But this move is very popular, not for the reason of him going to the Bengals. I'm sorry. Love the Bengals. But the real story here is Emmanuel Acho. We talked about him not being able to play this season.
What's up,
but
baby?
Shedeur Sanders is now QB2 for the Cleveland Browns. And a path to getting on the field looks possible for the first time. He was interviewed at a car dealership.
What'd
They
he
found
say?
him. I mean, they tracked his ass down. I'm telling you right now. Let's go ahead and take a listen. Let's see if we can get audio going real quick. There you go.
Oh, Joe Flacco getting traded. He was definitely somebody I leaned on for wisdom, and I feel like he helped me a lot. He helped me a lot while my time being here in Cleveland and his time being here in Cleveland. So now, everybody has their own destinies and have their own plans they have in life. So I'm just happy for him.
Have you talked to him yet?
Yeah, I seen him in the facility. I seen him
Before or after the news?
after for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he told me, I'm like, dang, that happened quick. Like, that was crazy.
Can we clap this up?
Interesting.
Hey, can we clap this up?
Are we
back there,
clapping?
please?
Are we
Can we
clapping?
clap this up?
Okay.
Let's clap this up. Here's why. Here's why. Shedeur is the number 2. I feel good about this. I did not like Joe Flacco being the number 2 behind Dylan Gabriel as the number 1. It was stupid. It was dumb to me. It was absolutely dumb. It made no sense. Shedeur being the number 2 means there is a viable path to starting. Now, it might take an injury to Dylan Gabriel. We wish that upon no man. But at least there is a viable path to starting when Shedeur Sanders is the number 2. Now, Gabriel has more pressure on him, I would suggest, than any quarterback in football, which is the wildest thing to say for a rookie making his second start. Because Shedeur Sanders, one of the most popular quarterbacks in all of the NFL, is hovering behind you. And the world's favorite player is a backup quarterback because you don't know how good nor how bad he is. Now, Gabriel went in last week against the Vikings and looked like a competent starter. Only quarterback, if I'm not mistaken, this season, 2 touchdowns and no interceptions against a Brian Flores defense. So he looked like a very competent starter. But the reason I am excited is because Shedeur Sanders is closer to starting. I believe a lot of bad decisions were made, a lot of unintelligent decisions were made as far as not going to the Ravens. If Shedeur was on the Ravens right now, he'd be starting. They're looking to replace Cooper Rush already. So if Shedeur was on the Ravens, he'd be starting. Okay, you didn't make that decision. Don't live your life with regret. At least now he's the legitimate number 2, T. I'm excited just that he's a number 2. No more, no less. I'm excited that he's a number 2. Why are you looking at me like that?
I get where you're coming from. I'm excited he's a number 2 as well. I was going to ask you guys, are you guys proud of how the Browns handled this situation?
Listen, you said earlier the Browns were dumb for making Flacco the number 2. The Browns were dumb for starting Flacco to start the season.
Thank you.
They're dumb for that. Like, you start Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders at the outset of the season. You know Flacco is not your quarterback of the future. You're trying to find your quarterback of the future. Shedeur's going to start 5 or 6 games. I'm sure of that this year.
Wow.
And for me, him sitting these games now should be a learning experience. Okay, what did Joe did that I like, didn't like? And the same thing with Dylan Gabriel is, can he learn from those guys and those experiences that they're going through be your experiences? I just feel like Cleveland, they don't have a plan, did not have a plan. And when you're this bad, the Cleveland Browns, if they had a franchise quarterback, would be in the playoff picture, compete for a championship every year with that defense. Every single year. And so for them to start Flacco, that was the dumbest thing. That was dumb number one to start the season, at least for me.
Can I get time?
Yeah, you get time. You want half or a full?
Let me just get half. Let me get
okay,
half.
We'll give you half.
30 seconds?
Hey, yeah, 30
quick
seconds.
30.
Come on.
I vehemently disagree with the Browns starting Flacco being dumb for this reason. Andy Reid told us on a previous show, like, yo, I never want to start my rookie quarterbacks game one because that takes the toll on their mental growth. What I mean by that is this. Cam Ward started 0-4. You're not going to get those 4 games back. So for 4 straight weeks, Cam Ward has thought to himself he's a loser. When you think about the MVPs of the last 6 or 7 years, if I'm not mistaken, Josh Allen didn't start week 1. Lamar Jackson didn't start week 1. Lamar Jackson won another MVP, didn't start week 1. Tom Brady won an MVP within the last 5-6 years. Aaron Rodgers has won an MVP too within the last 5-6 years. Pat Mahomes. None of them started week 1.
Yeah.
So if you just look at the track record of the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now, none of them have started week 1. I've seen a lot of quarterbacks, Caleb Williams, start week 1 and not be all that great. But none of the MVP quarterbacks have started week 1. And Andy Reid came on a previous show, looked me in my eyes and said, Acho, I do not like starting rookie quarterbacks week 1. Even if you think they might be ready, just sit them. Let them learn a little bit. I know Deion Sanders said, I ain't never learned nothing from sitting behind a rookie. He maybe have said it in jest a little bit. But T, let me vehemently disagree with you. Please, please, please respond. But let me disagree with that notion of let's roll Dylan Gabriel out there week 1 so he can do what? Start 0-4?
So the reason I say that, when you say Dylan Gabriel, you know how many games he started in college?
All of them.
From Central Florida to Oklahoma to Oregon.
Most starts ever of a college quarterback, I believe.
And Shedeur Sanders got to be right behind him. He got to be right behind him. And now, Shedeur didn't play at the level consistently at Jackson State for 2 years and in Colorado that Dylan Gabriel. He started so many college games. If you're not ready now, when you going to be ready?
But college and pro is different,
It's completely different, but it's a comfort level being under center if you're Dylan Gabriel.
Okay.
It's a comfort level. And you saw just this past, you're going against Brian Flores and the Minnesota Vikings.
He looked good.
He looked really good.
Looked good.
Yep.
And that defense is one of the top 5 to 7 defenses in the league.
But peep this. How do we know that had Dylan Gabriel started week 1 and not sat behind Joe Flacco and seen Joe Flacco make all of those atrocious interceptions? How do we know that Gabriel would have looked good week 1? I feel like that's the mistake so many of us make, is assume that, because Gabriel looked good week 5, he would have looked as good week 1.
Hey, with all due respect, you know who they played week 1?
Who was it?
With all due respect, I love them. The Bengals. I love them. But that defense, it was still finding its way.
Yeah.
And so I'm starting a guy that had as many starts as Dylan Gabriel. He going for me. You going to start.
Yeah.
Now we got our first super chat
in
the building tonight. Philip Arnold dropped a nuke on us. I'll tell you, this is the best take that I've heard. We're talking about early starts and whatnot.
What happened?
He said, so the Browns wasted first team camp reps on Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett and traded both of them midseason, and now it's the 2 rookies left with the least amount of reps in preseason and in camp. 1 and 2, the Browns are an absolute joke, and I completely agree with this point. I completely agree with this point. You didn't give any of these guys first team reps, and you traded both of the quarterbacks you were giving first team reps. Are you out of your mind? Now, they are blessed to have a guy like a Dylan Gabriel that's played so much football at the collegiate level, and now he's gotten in. He knows how to prepare for these types of moments. It's very interesting, but I really want to know, how long is Dylan Gabriel's...
Hold on, let me respond to that.
Okay, go ahead.
Who said that?
It was Philip Arnold. Philip Arnold's cooking.
Hey, come in tight. Come in tight.
Uh-oh.
Come in tight, Taylor. Hey, here's what we have to understand, young Philip. Here's what we got to understand, young Philip, is this. The Browns got a 5th-round pick for Kenny Pickett, and you got a 6th-round pick for Joe Burrow. So we can't look at it like it was for Joe Flacco. So we can't look at it like it was absolutely asinine. You can back him up, back him up, back him up, back him up. He's too close to me, too close to me, too close to me. Back him up, please. We can't look at it like it was completely asinine. We didn't get nothing for those players. We got a 5th, we got a 6th. Acho, what the hell's a 5th and a 6th-round pick? They will probably be packaged and traded. We'll probably trade 2 6ths and a 4th next year for a 3rd. You know what I mean? Like, you're acquiring assets. The Browns are not a good enough roster right now. Acquire draft capital, move draft capital. Acquire draft capital, move draft capital. Now, I don't entirely disagree with that Philip take. You know what I mean? Like, I don't entirely disagree with that take, but the fact of the matter is, if Joe Flacco would have started better, he's not getting benched. Joe Flacco sucked. So you can't operate under the premonition that your 40-year-old quarterback that helped you win Coach of the Year just 2 years ago, your 40-year-old quarterback that's won a Super Bowl, your 40-year-old quarterback that, albeit he sucked at a different franchise, you can't operate under the premonition that your 40-year-old quarterback isn't going to play average. It just so happened that he sucked. Why you got that look on your face, Care Bear? I don't like it. I don't like it.
I'm laughing at the chat.
Like
Trey's running our chat. He said, "Tell Acho I said pause on the comment type." He said you gotta pause that for real, man. Come on, man.
Hey, Social Trey, you go get ready for your wedding.
Hey, man.
You get ready for your wedding.
Shout out to Social Trey getting married here pretty soon. No, I'm inclined to agree to a certain standpoint, but hey, the Browns have always had draft capital. They're an ass team. They're perpetually ass team. Generational cheeks is what the Browns have been. I think mismanaging a quarterback room, a young and talented quarterback room, we can all agree that these two rookie quarterbacks are talented. They could turn into NFL starting caliber guys. Mismanaging them and not giving them reps early on can damage them.
But realistically speaking, you know this better than anybody. Speak to it. The Browns couldn't have had a quarterback room with two rookies and Deshaun Watson.
No.
Like, let's have a very sober conversation. It's a speakeasy. Let's sober up for a moment. You can't go into an offseason with Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, and Deshaun Watson. That sounds reckless.
No. What a veteran, and because Kenny Pickett, you would consider him a veteran as well, but Joe Flacco, being a veteran, started a ton of games, Super Bowl winner. The things that he's able to teach him, and Joe's a quiet dude, man. You
play with Joe, right?
I played with Joe. Super quiet, real chill. Not gonna say much unless you say something to him. They learned from him, and you couldn't just go and say, "Hey, Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, and Deshaun Watson is our quarterback room," because now one of the rookies know right off the rip, I'm starting. Would they have worked as hard? Would they have prepared the way they needed to prepare? We don't know.
Yeah.
And so the way the Browns went about it, you may not like it, but you do need a veteran in there. And you go back to game one, like Joe Flacco, he go to Cincinnati, he's smiling because they probably beat the Bengals if Jerry Jeudy catch that ball.
Yeah.
They might beat the Bengals. And so I know Joe is like, man, it's taking me till year 18, I believe it is for Joe.
Yeah.
To play with these type of receivers?
Let me ask you this on the flip side. I know we've hung on this Shedeur conversation long, but this might be the most important question. How long till Shedeur starts? How long till he starts?
Wow.
Like, is
it really boils down to, can Dylan Gabriel win games? If Dylan Gabriel goes and plays 500 football, Shedeur not going to start a game.
Yeah.
But if what I believe is going to happen, they start getting boat raced and smacked, Shedeur going to start, I say week 11, week 12, and he'll finish the season.
Social Trey, ask the chat, please. Ask the chat, is Shedeur going to start this season? Ask the chat, will Shedeur Sanders start a game this season? Ask the chat that I need to know.
We also had another one, a super chat from Javante Crawford, very popular super chatter around these parts. He said, do we think they made this move because Deshaun will be healthy later this season?
I think that's a part of it, but realistically speaking, it's this simple. Dylan Gabriel looked competent. We had no idea what Gabriel was going to look like. Yeah. But on an awkwardly short week, because you played in London against one of the best defensive minds in the game, maybe the best defensive mind in the game over the last 3 years, not named Steve Spagnuolo, Dylan Gabriel looked competent. So Dylan Gabriel allowed you to get rid of Joe Flacco. If Dylan Gabriel looked bad, you're holding on to Joe Flacco because for whatever reason, they're scared of Shedeur. That's why Shedeur wasn't the number 2. But Dylan Gabriel looking competent allowed them to move on from Joe Flacco. I think that's the only reason that this happened.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
Deshaun start $90 million. They only $90 million next.
They
gonna give him another game.
Unless we have someone hooping.
But they admitted in the offseason it was a mistake.
Yeah.
Andrew Berry admitted.
Their own owner did.
We all know it's a mistake.
Yeah.
But they still want him to earn some of that. We're going to give you one more go at it.
You got to get out there and play a little bit.
Because what you just said would be the wildest thing in the world. Imagine Dylan Gabriel gets benched and you start Deshaun Watson.
I can see it happening.
Like, do y'all realize what just occurred?
That would
Do y'all
be-
realize what we just realized in real time? Imagine Dylan Gabriel gets benched in middle of or early December. He starts the next 6 games, and here
And
comes
Shedeur back
Deshaun
to
Watson,
QB3?
and Shedeur goes back to QB3.
Oh my
The
God.
internet would explode. Explode.
No, it's a very real possibility though. Now that we
is.
talked about this, it is
It
a real
is. That's
possibility.
disgusting.
Yeah,
And
that's
Ancho,
gross.
you played the league. When the guys making that type of money,
They got to play.
they got to get
They
out there.
got to play.
Yeah. Before we move on to this next topic, we got a $50 super chat from Quentin.
A $50 super chat?
He said they playing with
Hey,
my boy.
did y'all hear him in the back?
$50. Let's get that. Yeah,
What'd he say?
He said they playing with my boy Shedeur, hashtag Team Care Bear. You know what? They love me right here, man. They love me right here. It's Care Bear, not Charmin Bear, not Fubu Bear, not Boo Boo Bear, nothing.
Care Bear, respond to that before we move. Quickly,
Yeah.
30 seconds. Are they playing with Shedeur, or do you actually think, in retrospect, Shedeur's the QB2 by week 6?
Yeah,
That's fair.
I think it's fair. I think it's fair right now. He has a path to getting on the field. You're the backup right now. If things don't go wrong with Dylan Gabriel, also if you follow Dylan Gabriel's college career, he's not someone that stayed healthy very long. He had his first full healthy season the last 2 years, and he was still a little bit dinged up that last year at
Yeah.
Oklahoma as well. We'll see what happens. I think Shedeur will get on the field, and we'll have a chance to get to see him start a football game this year.
Hey, a $50 super chat.
Yeah, we got a drink, man.
We got a drink to that, T.
We got a drink. Hey,
Pull
yeah.
up to the
go ahead,
bartender.
Him and the glass.
We got a drink on a $50 super chat.
Oh, yeah.
Let me get rid of that water.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and kill this one.
Let me get rid of that water. Hey,
Oh, okay,
and a
yeah. He's
Speakeasy.
still working on that?
We get
Oh, so
$50 super chats. We turned up.
We drink, man.
Okay, we
turned up in
turned
here.
up. You know
Let me
what I'm
go
saying?
ahead and top.
God, dog, that's
Go ahead,
a heavy
grab
pour,
one if
T.
you're watching now.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, T. I got to
Hey.
drive. I
Hey.
got to drive. What's
got-
wrong with this man?
I got an Uber.
What's wrong with
I'm
this
going to go
man,
ahead.
T?
I got an Uber.
Dog, where we at,
All
Care
right,
Bear?
moving
Bring us
along,
up.
we got to talk about the Eagles. We heard yesterday that they had a team meeting, a little bit of kumbaya between
gosh.
Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, and A.J. Brown. We got video right here of Saquon Barkley talking about said meeting.
Yeah, we had a conversation, but I'm not going to speak too much on it. I feel like that conversation is meant to stay between us, but focus was all about the team, and I think it was a good thing.
Are all the Eagles' issues fixed now because they had a good little meeting and they're not telling anybody what was said?
T, you played so much longer than me, so respond to this. But in my 4 years of experience in 3 teams, New York Giants practice squad, drafted to the Browns and the Eagles, things never got better after a players-only meeting, particularly if it was a 3 players-only meeting. I remember the New York Giants, I went there in 2013. We had a players-only meeting led by Antrell Roll, Justin Tuck, Eli Manning. It was players-only. Everybody got together. We need to right the ship. Get Tom Coughlin out of here. We need to right the ship. I think the Giants finished 5-11 that year. Like, if you have a players-only meeting, it's already too late in my mind. So I also don't know that Saquon Barkley and A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts all have anything to talk about that has to do with X's and O's. I think from a camaraderie standpoint, maybe, but you nod in your head, yes. Well, I didn't hear from you yesterday. Talk to the people, T. Talk to the people in the Speakeasy.
First of all, y'all 3 met.
Yep.
How to get out that y'all met? Who told? How the media know that y'all
That's
met?
a great point.
Well, like, where is it getting out that
Great point.
AJ, Saquon, and Jalen met? Who said that? Who told?
Correct.
Who was the one that?
It wasn't Jalen. We
It
know
wasn't
that.
none of the players. I guarantee. Who's not the 3 players in the meeting?
Okay.
They didn't say that. I guarantee they didn't. So 1, who put that out there? Number 2 is this. AJ want the ball. He not getting the ball. Saquon, like, if I would have got the ball more, we probably would have won the game. That ain't their fault. Who's calling the plays? It's your fault. The guy calling the plays.
Yeah.
It's your fault. You can't get Saquon his carries. Get AJ his catches. Get Devon. It's not that hard. They're your best players. You paying them all this money to be decoration. So for me, can it be fixed? Yeah, once you start winning. But you can't win and AJ don't get the ball till 1:50 left in the game. He won the game. He's upset because he wants to be a part of it. My biggest thing, who is up here talking about the player only mean the 3 player? Who said something about it? The offensive coordinator and Sirianni, and those 3 should have been in that meeting. That's how, for me.
I love that. I love this point because why the hell y'all meeting about something that y'all can't fix. I was talking to one of the people on my team that helps me basically live my life, and I was like, yo, if you got an issue with something, come to me, because I can fix it. If you got an issue with something, don't go talk to this person or talk to the contractor or talk to the electrician or talk to this talk to the person who can fix it. Because you talking to all the other people except for the person that can fix it. So I think about it like AJ, Jalen, Saquon. The person that can fix it is Kevin Patullo. Now here's a conversation that I have not heard anybody have. It's a Nick Sirianni issue. And the reason it's a Nick Sirianni issue, so long as Nick Sirianni cannot and does not call plays, the Eagles will find themselves in this situation year after year after year.
They keep replacing coordinators.
You keep replacing coordinators. You can find a defensive coordinator that is content being a defensive coordinator because defense is not innovative. Defense is reactive. You cannot find an older offensive coordinator that doesn't want to become a head coach. Offensive is innovative. So unless you want to find yourself a Greg Roman, an offensive coordinator that's content being an offensive coordinator who's not innovative, and then Eagles fans will be mad at him just as well, you need Nick Sirianni to be capable of calling the plays. That way, you don't have a Brian Johnson calling plays after Shane Steichen leaves. Then you got to get rid of Brian Johnson. Then praise God for Kellen Moore being intelligent and bringing a savant of an offensive mind. Then Kellen goes to become a head coach. Now you got Kevin Patullo. But don't let y'all win a Super Bowl because then Patullo's going to go get a job. The dilemma with the Eagles offensive coordinators is you either get promoted or you get fired. There's no in between. And unlike Kyle Shanahan, unlike Sean McVay, thank you. Unlike Kevin O'Connell, Andy Reid, Zach Taylor, unlike those offensive head coaches that also call plays, so long as Sirianni can't call plays, the Eagles will be in this dilemma every other year. It's that simple.
That's literally what it's looked like, though, too. They went from most explosive offense to a little dysfunctional to most explosive offense to now, again, looking a little dysfunctional. We have some super chats, some out-of-pocket ones. Lulu said the Eagles' issues won't be fixed until they get a better QB that can read a defense. Once the Broncos went to zone, it was over. 2.0 if the read ain't there. That's a crazy take. What are we doing, man?
Lulu, I disagree with that take vehemently because Jalen Hurts didn't just win a Super Bowl. He was Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah. No, we also got a $50 super chat from Quentin. Quentin dropped another one. He said, drink again.
Hold up. Quentin, you trying to have me slizzard, huh?
God, dog, Q.
That's the biggest drink we taking here.
Appreciate he said nothing.
Show.
He just said
my gosh.
He just said drink again.
Yeah, he said drink it. That's all he said. He said $50 drink again.
Hey, Q, relax.
I'll do it. Hey,
relax.
Hey, I'll do it again too. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna feel that one later. I'm not gonna lie. The Eagles also this week to move on. They play the Giants on Thursday night. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I had to reset. They play the Giants this week on Thursday. Landon Dickerson, who's announced, is going to miss the next 1 to 2 games with an ankle injury. Yet another thing, Lane Johnson coming back from missing some games as well. This Eagles team, can they get back on track offensively this Thursday? We know they're probably going to win this game, but you don't think so?
It's another bad matchup. I mean, think about the Giants' strength is on the defensive line. Yeah. Their strength on the whole team. Of the defensive line, the linebackers, the secondary, the offensive line, the tight ends, the running backs, the wide receiving core, the quarterbacks, the special teams unit, of about the 8 to 9 units that exist on a football team, the Giants' strongest link is currently going up against, surprisingly, the Eagles' weakest link. So if you got Dickerson missing time too, and I think Big Dexter Lawrence, is he healthy again? I know he was dealing with some injuries. You got Brian Burns. He been balling this year. Abdul Carter coming into his own. Kayvon Thibodeau was playing for money, like real money. You got hungry dogs up front on that defensive line. Eagles' offensive line hasn't been able to get going. And now if you're Patullo, I don't even know if he knows how to act. Okay, if we run the ball too much, AJ's mad. If we pass the ball too much, we lose the game. I'm a first-year offensive coordinator, and everybody hates me. I don't even know if the OC knows how to act.
That's what I don't like is it should not be one or the other. Saquon can have a good game, and A.J. Brown can have a good game in the same game.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be one or the other. That's what I don't understand is you go back to the Bucks game. They start trying to force the ball to AJ.
Yeah.
They playing cloud corner, and you running stop routes. Anybody cloud corner, basically the corner sitting, you got help over the top. And they're running stop routes. And you can't force the ball in that look. And so to me, You got 50 to 67 plays in a game. You're going to run it 33 times. You're going to pass it 27 times, whatever. You mean to tell me out of those 33 runs, Saquon gets 20 of them, Jalen Hurts gets 5, the backup gets the rest. A.J. Brown can't get 6, 7 catches out of that? Smitty can't get 4 to 5, 6 catches? You can do it. It's not that hard.
Did you play with an offense? Was it you, Ocho Cinco, Corey Dillon? Was Dillon there? Or y'all?
Yes. Yes, and then we had Rudy Johnson.
R.I.P.
And Rudy had 1,400 yards. Me and Chad both had 1,000.
Yeah, so it's doable.
Very doable.
Biggest issue. Sorry, last question. I got T here before we have to move to the next topic. Is the biggest issue Jalen Hurts or Kevin Patullo in your mind? Not to be inflammatory. You're a receiver that played 12 plus years. What's the biggest issue?
For me, it's a combination of both because Jalen is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. If he don't like certain things, he can change them. You get to the line of scrimmage, he can change them. What you going to say to him? I didn't want a Super Bowl. He can change them. And so, obviously, I don't know if Jalen is that type of guy where, okay, I don't like this, we're going to go to this. I don't know if he's doing that, but he can change them. And as long as they're effective, what they going to say?
Fair. Fair.
Got another super chat before we move on. Jonathan Henry said, watching the 2023 Eagles, it's like this all over again.
Yeah.
It's just happening earlier in the season. If they don't get it together, I could see a first-round playoff exit or not making it.
That's wild.
Relax.
Everybody calm down.
Take a breath,
Everybody calm down.
They still one of the best teams in the league.
They're still winning
Correct.
games. They beat the Cowboys with a superhuman offense. I'm telling
relax.
you. Okay.
Get to the next one, please.
Lulu also said, I know they killed the Chiefs, but do you think they play the way they played Saquon showed a little bit of the blueprint on how to stop him or how to slow him down?
But forget how they played Saquon, how they played Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts only had 2 rushing attempts and he was healthy. The Denver Broncos said, we're going to make Jalen beat us as a passer. That's what they said. They did the same Nick Bosa mentality. Never rush past the quarterback. If your defensive ends rush past the quarterback, Jalen Hurts can step up and he can step to the right. He can step up and he can step to the left. What the Broncos said was, do not rush past Jalen Hurts. We don't need to get a sack. Collapse the pocket, defensive ends, keep Jalen Hurts inside the pocket and make Jalen Hurts beat you as a pocket passer. He cannot do that, especially because we got Pat Surtain on the outside. So even if Jalen Hurts has A.J. Brown, one of the top 3 wide receivers in football, we got the best defensive player in all of football. Make him beat us as a pocket passer. He can't do that. Where we at?
I hear you. Moving forward, we got to talk about the Cardinals situation right now. We saw a sideline altercation yesterday between head coach Jonathan Gannon and Amari DiMercato, and it seems as if the Cardinals have reviewed this footage, and made a decision. They are fining head coach Jonathan Gannon $100,000 for his sideline interaction with Amari DiMercato after dropping the football.
If you can, I'm going to ask you to do something difficult. Can you find the sideline spat? Rome, remove it as we check. Can you find this? Oh, we got it. We
got you right here.
This is why Care Bear gets paid the big bucks.
I'm on it. We right here.
Watch it, T. Watch it at home. Watch this at home. Head coach Jonathan Gannon in the white hat. After DiMercato fumbled the ball, running into the end zone, head coach Jonathan Gannon slaps the dude, hits him in the chest, $100,000 fine. T, talk to me, please.
Was this punishment enough?
Listen, man, this is crazy. First off, a coach would never do that to me.
Why you say that?
I'm knocking him out on the sideline. I promise you.
Oh, wow.
And every coach I've had, they know that. They know that. He wouldn't do that to me. He wouldn't do that to me.
You're knocking him out.
I promise you. And they know that. They not. And I'm not like I'm a tough guy. You're just not going to disrespect me like that. Because if I do that to you on the sideline, I get cut. We know that. I got a son at home. What you think he going to say when he see this? I might argue with my wife. And I raise my voice. She liable to be like, "Oh, you want to raise your voice at me, but you let that man hit you like that? You ain't I'm a man first. See, y'all ain't married, right? I gotta go home.
This the Speakeasy, baby.
So it's like Gannon, but I will say this: he know who to try.
Yeah.
He not doing that to nobody that he know gonna put hands on him. And again, I'm not acting like I'm this tough guy. You not putting hands on me like that. I'm going upside your head. Like if you hit me like that, I'm hitting you back. And that's just simple as that. And every coach in the National Football League, even in college, they know who they can do that to.
That's real.
And I ain't one of them.
That's real. That's real.
Straight up.
That's
They
real.
know that.
T not telling no lies because we had a player in Philly as a rookie. And Chip Kelly was there. And on defense, if you're rushing the quarterback, you can't sack the quarterback in practice.
Stay out
you
the
can't
QB.
sack the quarterback in practice. Stay out the QBs.
Yeah.
Stay out the cylinder. The cylinder is a little fake circle. You can't touch them. But what defenders like to do is they yell, sack! And we yell sack to let the offensive coaches and the offensive line know, hey, I can't actually sack your QB, but I'm going to yell sack so you know in a game I would have sacked him. So we had a dude named Bo Allen. He's a rookie at the time, and he's rushing, and Fletcher Cox is rushing. Bo Allen's on the sideline, and he yells, sack! Chip Kelly looks who it was. I'm watching. I'm on the sideline with the twos. Chip Kelly looks who it is. After assessing, that's a rookie, he says, shut the fuck up, you fucking rook. I'll cut you right now. And I'm like, oh. But Brandon Graham was right next to Bo Allen and said, sack. But Chip knows you can't yell at Brandon Graham like that. Trent Cole was right next to BG, who was right next to Bo Allen. And Chip knows, I can't yell at this dude like that. So T is right in that coaches know who they can try and who they can't.
So even if you're not a starter, we had a guy in Cincinnati. I ain't going to say his name, but this was early in my career. They released him. But prior to that, a coach said something to him that he didn't like, and he picked him up and slammed him. So when they released him, they hired security. And the people that they know who I'm talking about, they were so scared of him, they hired security.
To escort him out the building?
To release him, because they were afraid when they released him, he was going to slam somebody else. D lineman. Yes. They were scared of him. They not doing that. They know. They know who to do that with.
It's crazy.
It's a dude on a rookie contract, and he's probably third in the running back rotation. He's getting more burn now. But like you said, he exactly. He knew who to try. And also, my thing is, Jonathan Gannon did it half-heartedly. He smacked his chest as hard as he could and then walked away in the middle of him doing it at the same time.
He know what he is. He an itch with to be in the front. He one of those like he know because
he wouldn't have done that and like really just stood there.
Hell no.
Hey, what he should have done when he should have just grabbed his right arm.
Yep.
What the fuck you doing?
Yep.
Get your ass beat.
Yep.
Like that's what he should have done.
But the problem is, James Conner would have done that. Because James Conner got some stable roster security. I think James Conner heard it, if I'm not mistaken. Like, a vet would have done that. But I think he's so right. And you know what it is, bro? Cowards know who to try. Not just in football. Cowards know who to try.
Yeah.
And cowards will try people who won't fight back.
Yeah.
I remember, I'm going to tell a story real quick. I'm going to tell me a story real quick. Training camp my senior year in college. And it's my senior year in college, and Will Muschamp was my defensive coordinator. He was the defensive coordinator for the Miami Dolphins when Nick Saban was a head coach. National championship at LSU, national championship somewhere else, at Georgia back-to-back. Will Muschamp said, hey, I was coordinating Zach Thomas one day, and Zach Thomas linebacker for the Dolphins, and the first day of camp, Zach Thomas got in a fight with a rookie offensive lineman. Zach Thomas was walking off the field, Muschamp was walking off the field, Muschamp also the linebacker coach. He said, Zach, you a 13-year vet. What you fighting a rookie offensive lineman for? Zach Thomas looked at Muschamp and said, Coach, he was holding me. And if I fight him the first time he holds me, he'll never hold me again because he's going to think he's going to have to fight me every time. My senior year at Texas, first day of training camp, I'm blitzing the A-gap. I get tackled to the ground by an offensive lineman from Gilmer, Texas, David Snow. 6'3", 300 pounds, country as heck, talk like this. I go to the ground, he says, I'm going to fucking kill you. Next thing you know, we on the ground, we tussling. Dudes on the knee, flip their helmets. You know what it is when you on the knee. You flip your helmet up, catch it. Everybody start throwing haymakers. And I thought to myself in that moment, it's not even that you're a fighter. You just have to make sure you can't get tried. And the thing for me in this moment is like, DeMercado, I just feel bad because like, why he try you like that? And the coach knew he could try him. You ain't trying Kyler like that. Kyler would have slapped him.
DeMercado's, if we're being honest, they cut him. I don't like he's in a way more cuttable position. If, like you said though, if it was anybody else on the team that ran 70 yards and then fumbled the ball through the back of the end zone, bro, you think Andy Reid was checking Deshaun Jackson when he did it? No, but if it was someone, if it was a third string running back that's on a rookie deal that you're giving a lot of shine to right now, that's playing well and filling a position, sure, you might try him. I do agree. I agree that he only did this because of who the guy was, but then also at the same time, DeMercado's in a tough position. What am I supposed to do?
DeMercado is in a position where if he defends himself, he's probably getting released.
Cut. He's getting cut. You lose your job.
Yeah.
You know what this shows me though?
Talk to me.
That Gannon feels the pressure.
Yeah,
he feels,
talking real.
He feels the pressure of, damn it, that's a game we should win. Now that just made it harder.
Yeah.
They 2-3.
Yeah.
They should easily be 3-2.
Yeah.
You just looked at it's our game.
Yeah.
Yep.
He feels the pressure.
But you know what that
of
was?
having to win.
That was I'm gonna have to relocate my family. I'm gonna have to take my kids out this private school. I'm gonna have to sell the house. We gonna have to move. I'm gonna have to call U-Haul. I remember going into my junior year at Texas. We were coming off a national championship, and my coach said, Acho, I got kids to feed. So when I'm thinking about who I'm putting on that football field, y'all think I'm thinking about y'all. I'm thinking about my wife, Carol. I'm thinking about my 2 sons. He said, I'm thinking about making sure if I trust you, I'm trusting you with my wife's meal. I'm trusting you with my kids' tuition. That slap by Jonathan Gannon wasn't just a slap of like, oh, you fumbled. Like T just beautifully said in the Speakeasy on this beautiful night, y'all hanging with us. That was I might like that might cost me my job, bro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? My bad, Care Bear. We was cooking. We was cooking.
I'm with you.
T was cooking.
T was cooking. I agree. Chad, I want to know what y'all think. What would y'all do in that situation? I think it's a tough situation for him. If I was a vet, if I was in TJ's position, if I on the Bengals, I'm letting one go. I'm Terrence Crawford on my coach.
You think
right
they're
there.
Independent? Like if you're secure, you're taking off.
Of course.
If you're not,
of course.
Yeah.
Hey, how high ranking are you at your place of work?
Yeah,
that's where it is. If I just got here, I can't act a damn fool. I can't say nothing crazy. I have to fill
you
in.
gotta prove yourself.
Exactly. I got to prove myself. But if I've been here 13 years and I know that this whole operation runs better with me, and you really can't afford to lose me, not gonna go disrespect me, boss. You need me.
Yeah,
you need me.
But I will say this because I'm not gonna lie. I know punk. But if I'm in that situation as a 53rd person on the roster, I'm taking that slap to the chest, and it's in large part because I need that check. Yep. I need that $36,000 to hit on Tuesday. I need that. Now, I think Jonathan Gannon has completely lost the respect of his team because players are on social media. And when they see that, they're going to be like, hey, coach, like that's weak as hell. And don't let coach try to come up there, hey, sorry, man, and let my emotions get the best of me. I'm not respecting you moving forward. But I'm not going to lie, T, like you played 12 years, so you could have swung. Cat like me that was getting cut and on the roster and cut and on the roster and cutting on the roster, bruh. Man, I'm going to just have to ice up, son. I'm going to have to ice up, G.
I ain't even going to tell this story, but I had a guy that I played with. He was a special teamer. And rarely played. He got cut. Him and Marvin got into it. He headbutted Marvin. They cut his ass. And everybody listen, they know exactly who I'm talking about. Wow. They got into it. He got a personal foul penalty on like kickoff return. The next Monday, they got into it on the sideline. He was in the weight room lifting the next day on Monday. Yep. Marvin called his ass out the weight room, and they released him. And he just started crying.
The craziest thing of all of this, Care Bear, the craziest thing is he told us a story about a special teamer. He told us a story about a defensive lineman. All these Bengal stories, and none of them got to do with Pac-Man Jones. That's the craziest part of this. Like, he told us a story about somebody getting escorted out of security, somebody headbutting the coach, and none of these was Pac-Man.
Nothing to do with Pac-Man.
These Bengal stories have filled the whole show for a couple weeks.
That was an interesting team back then, man, for sure. For sure. But speaking of coaches that are dealing with that struggle of where am I going to relocate my family or whatnot, we got to talk about these coaches on the hot seat. Saw this graphic on Twitter earlier today showing all of these potential head coaches on the hot seat. Right now, it's looking pretty nasty, fellas. Ugh. It's looking like a Magic City parking lot, straight ass out here. Which one of these coaches? I'll let you go first. Which one of these coaches do you think is on the hottest seat right now?
The hottest right now is Mike McDaniel, and it's Mike McDaniel because so much online momentum and so much public momentum is building for McDaniel being called for his job. And in all honesty, it's Mike McDaniel because he's had the longest run outside of John Harbaugh with this type of talent. He had Tyreek Hill healthy. He had Jalen Waddle healthy. He had a Raheem Mostert that had 21 touchdowns and set a Dolphins record, had the most touchdowns in the NFL that season. And he had Tua Tagovailoa, and he never won anything. Got to the playoffs twice, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't win a playoff game, albeit one time he went with Skylar Thompson, a backup quarterback. So Mike McDaniel has to be on the hottest seat because your roster is not going to get better than you've had it within the last 4 years, at least offensively, and you're an offensive coach. Now, defensively, it could get a lot better, but they're allocating all of their resources to the offense. As a result, offensively is where I need to see them get better. To me, I think Mike McDaniel's hit his head on the ceiling. I think he is a brilliant offensive coordinator. I do not know if he's cut out to be an elite head coach in the National Football League. And more than anything, Tyreek Hill, he's gone. I mean, it sounds like the Dolphins aren't going to extend him and do all those things. I think he's out of guaranteed money. So, T, I'm going with McDaniel.
Man, when you look at a list of coaches, Aaron Glenn being 0-5, you're like, oh, he just got there. We're going to give him a runway. Kevin Stefanski should be the easy answer, but he seems to be bulletproof. He seems to be bulletproof in Cleveland. But I agree with you. It has to be Mike McDaniel because of the expectations that they had coming to the season. You know, some people say John Harbaugh. They realize that John Harbaugh has done nothing but win and win and win in Baltimore. I'm not firing John Harbaugh. If I'm the owner of a team, Mike McDaniel, out of all the coaches that are struggling, would be the one to go because of the expectations that we had. A healthy Tua, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Darren Waller back playing football. We're going to be unstoppable on offense. We're going to be unstoppable, and we aren't. And so for me, it has to be Mike McDaniel because your side of the ball, the side that you specialize in, is a side that's letting us down.
One quick one for you. Aaron Glenn, should he be one and done?
Absolutely not.
Why?
Absolutely
You
not.
gotta break this down.
The Jets were bad last year, and they're bad this year. They need a culture change. That's not changing in 1 year. You have to be there. Okay, let me say this. I need to see the culture changing by next month, November, December. Because there's just certain guys that you have to keep. And now you may realize, the owner may realize, like, okay, we can bench him now. You start Justin Fields, and Justin Fields has actually been playing okay. But the Jets need, look at all the Jets quarterbacks. Sam Darnold couldn't play. He a baller now. They need a culture change. You cannot do this in one offseason. So I'm not firing Aaron Glenn at all. I'm not even considering firing him.
That's good.
I've been on losing teams. Ain't no coach coming in there. He couldn't get all the guys he wanted. And he can't get them to be what he wants in one offseason.
I guess my fear is the quarterbacks have always been issues for the Jets. For whatever reason, these Jets keep going to these freaking defensive-minded head coaches. And these defensive-minded head coaches don't know what to do with quarterbacks. Todd Bowles didn't know what to do with Sam Darnold or Geno Smith. Robert Saleh didn't know what to do with Zach Wilson or Aaron Rodgers for that matter. And this new coach, Aaron Glenn, he don't know what to do with Justin Fields. So in this offensive-minded league, you got the one coach that's winless is the defensive-minded head coach. It's not a coincidence, and this is coming from a defensive player.
Hey, I just thinking about what he just said, right?
Yeah.
It's really crazy. As you said this, it just hit me. You said Todd Bowles, Sam Darnold, Robert Saleh. Those are the first three guys you said.
Yeah.
All three of them thrive outside of New York.
Absolutely.
All three of them. Todd Bowles balling in Tampa. Sam Darnold balling since he left New York. And Robert Saleh, when he in with the 49ers, he balling. He can coach.
Yeah.
But when they in New York, they, like you say, a Magic City parking lot.
Ass. Straight ass. They straight ass.
I like that.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. That's what it is. Look.
Hold on. We need gear for that? Do we need, because we got Here Damn is getting merch. That's on a Generational Cheeks.
Generational Cheeks.
Generational Cheeks. That's on merch. But is it Magic City Park? That's too long to be on merch.
Magic City, we can't. Magic City going. You know what I mean?
But that's already trademarked.
It's a strip club parking lot. Straight ass. That might be what it is.
And then ...
Then ...
Bet.
Strip club parking lot. ...
Yeah.
Cheeks. Like that's what. Yeah. That's what. Yeah. There it is. I'm with it. No, I have to say on the Aaron Glenn thing though, the only reason why I'm giving him the credit is I think a lot of these coaches, they end up the good ones. They end up taking a lot from what they were before or where they were at before, right? When Dan Campbell got to the when Dan Campbell got to Detroit, they started off 0-8-1.
Yeah.
They couldn't win a game. And then, but the thing is, they continue to show
Great
fight
point.
over and over and over again. I see fight in this Jets team. I do see fight. I see signs with this Jets team. I think they can turn it around. And like you said, a couple months into the season, whenever November hit, whenever December hit, that's when they started turning it around. If he doesn't turn it around and his team ends up 1-16, for sure, get him out of there. But if he's not showing, like I believe he's going to start showing that fight later on in the season. They're changing the culture right now. Whenever you're changing that culture, these teams show they have a lot of losses.
I will listen to that. I'll listen to that. My only fear, reservation, and hesitation is very simple. If you don't have a quarterback, you can't win in a league, T. And unless we believe that Justin Fields is the 10-6 quarterback to turn them around, that's where the fear lies. Because again, Sam Darnold has proven to be a quarterback. Baker Mayfield has proven to be a quarterback with Todd Bowles. So unless we have a quarterback, as we talk about Baker, we'll see.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think also looking at head coaches, I'd say Brian Callahan. I know they just got the #1 pick, and everyone's going to give him a lot of grace for that and whatnot. I don't care. Whenever you win 4 out of your 22 games as a head coach and you're not really showing signs of improvement, get them up out of there. And also, the Titans have done this before. In my opinion, they're really showing the hurt that they had after losing Mike Vrabel. But whenever they had Mike Mularkey get there, who did he have his first season? The #2 overall pick, Marcus Mariota, couldn't do anything with it. Marcus Mariota ended up having his career, in my opinion, gone down a completely different trajectory. He had all these different play callers and whatnot. Find a guy and stick to him. But right now, I'm sorry, Brian Callahan is not that guy. He's not that guy. I know they had a good win this weekend. Congrats. Slow clap. You want a cookie? No, absolutely not. No, Brian Callahan got to go. He's got to go.
As long as it's a macadamia nut cookie, that's good enough. Where we at, Care Bear?
Speaking of Todd Bowles, hooping, just straight up cooking, his quarterback, Baker Mayfield, posted this on IG, specifically chose an image of himself and his teammates in the tunnel on the first slide. And if you guys have seen the video this past weekend, Baker was cooking a fan. There's one thing Baker going to do. He's going to talk some shit to some fans. Fellas, Baker Mayfield, bringing the juice. Do you expect him to keep this up?
Find the clip.
I got to find the clip.
I need y'all to see the clip. Baker Mayfield is whatever you're doing, stop right now. Make sure your volume is turned up on your YouTube buttons or on your TVs. Grab your clickers. We call them the remotes, whatever you call them. Turn your volume up and make sure you're ready to see Baker Mayfield cussing out a fan. We ready?
I got it right here.
Right here. Let's get it popping.
You're a real fucking hard halftime. Yeah, you ready? You ready? Put it out. Yeah, you rich son of a doing. Yeah, you exactly. You're fucking
telling them boys you're going to be real upset at halftime. And there's one thing, look, I have no reason to like Baker, but I like Baker, man. He's tough. He been doing it since college, too. He got that chip on his shoulder.
Bruh.
And whenever he feels like he's doubted, it's a completely different thing. Do y'all expect him to keep up this level of play?
Absolutely. Baker Mayfield is playing out of his mind right now. Baker Mayfield is seeing things before anybody else is seeing them. It is like Baker Mayfield is in the Matrix the way he is playing ball. Like when Neo was stopping all of those bullets, anticipating what was coming before it was ever coming. That is Baker Mayfield on the field. I was watching Baker Mayfield tape in preparation for this show. Number one, schematically, offensively, they do some brilliant things. They know how to attack leverage. They know how to dial it up to manipulate your defense. They know exactly what to do schematically. And then Baker Mayfield, he doesn't want to beat you. He wants to bludgeon you. What I mean by that, T, is this. The Bucs will call a route, and Baker Mayfield will have an open check down. He's looking at it, and he says, bump the check down. I'm taking the dig behind it. Like, Baker doesn't want to beat you. Baker wants to bludgeon you every single play. And then what Emeka Egbuka is doing on the outside is like something I haven't seen by a rookie. Number one, every route looks the same, T, because he explodes off the ball every single time. That sounds remedial at home. You know better than anybody. That's the most important thing, because then as a defensive back, are you running a 9? You running a 7? You running a stop? You running a glance? You running a comeback? I don't know what you're doing when you're on me in the first 5 yards because you're sprinting off the ball every single time. And then Egbuka knows how to attack leverage so wonderfully and so masterfully and find those zones in the window. But T, Baker, I think, has 51 touchdowns, 17 picks in the last year in 5 games. He's playing better than any quarterback in football plus the record. You know what I mean? Dak Prescott's playing really good, doesn't have the record. Drake May playing really good, doesn't have the record. There's no quarterback playing as well as Baker with a winning record. Baker's doing stuff that is truly out of his mind, T. It's out of his mind, bro.
And if he stays healthy, he will be rewarded for that because he's going to be the MVP this year.
Wow.
If he stays healthy, he's going to be the MVP this year.
He really is playing at that level.
You know how many quarterbacks would have not responded to that? They would have just looked up at Buddy and smiled, and they wouldn't have said anything. But I'm starting to think about what I'm about to say.
Talk to me.
If you want a head coaching job, go be Baker OC.
Talk about it. Elaborate.
Go be
Elaborate.
Baker OC. Who was his coordinator last year? Y'all know who it was? Liam Cohen. Where he at? Jacksonville.
Yep.
Who was his coordinator the year before that?
Canales, I believe.
Canales. He in Carolina. So don't be surprised if Baker, I don't even know who the coordinator is this year, he gonna be gone.
Yeah.
And it's Baker.
Yeah.
Because Canales leaves, offense gets better. Liam Cohen leaves, the offense gets better. And you're right about Egbuka. My boy trained him CT down in Seattle, trained him since he was a little kid, all the way through. You know, they're going to give Brian Hartline that credit. That's my boy CT.
Yeah.
In Seattle trained him as a kid all the way through. The kid just can run routes.
Yeah.
He can create separation. But Baker Mayfield is a dog.
Yeah.
Like, when you look, Cleveland Browns, dysfunctional organizations make a player look like he can't play. He leaves, goes to McVay, goes to Carolina, but when he went to McVay, something clicked. When he went to the Rounds, something clicked because he been lights out with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Lights out.
Lights
Baker
out.
Mayfield, stay healthy, he's the MVP. And if you want a head coaching job, all you OCs, y'all better get to Tampa with Todd Bowles because this guy going to be gone also.
You know what's crazy? I was watching Baker Mayfield today, and I said something I couldn't believe I said. I'd be surprised if Baker didn't win a Super Bowl.
Whoa.
Baker is low-key good,
when I
He's
tell you,
really good.
I couldn't, Care Bear, as I was watching, I'm not lying to y'all. I couldn't believe I said it when I was watching. I said, I would be surprised if Baker doesn't win a Super Bowl. And the reason I said that when I was watching, they were playing the Seahawks. Seahawks are sitting in cover 4. In college, what I'm about to tell you works. In the league, it doesn't. Seahawks are sitting in cover 4. You have essentially a double post. You have trips. College, double post versus cover 4 all the time. Oklahoma State made it famous. Reason you run a double post, first post, it occupies the safety. Safety's gone. Second post, corner, the safety's gone. Corner's playing outside leverage. Corner has nothing inside of him. Receiver just runs away from the corner, outside leverage, touchdown. Doesn't work in the league. But the Bucks run a bunch of different variations. So you're not getting double post. You motion in with trips. All of a sudden you motion in the trips. You run like an elongated dig. And so now the safety is chilling. He jumps on the number 2 dig route. As soon as Baker sees that safety break on the dig, over to Egbuka. And Egbuka runs his route so perfectly. He sprints out the line of scrimmage. He leans on the receiver, bomb, snaps at the top of his break, and then Baker planned it perfectly, touchdown.
But if we talking real football, then we're going to get into the real football now. So what you're talking about, I know exactly what play you're talking about.
Yeah.
When that receiver passes 10 yards, in essence, for that safety, it's a man look. Because quarters is a form of match defense.
It's pattern match zone is what we call it. It's not zone, it's pattern match.
Once that number 2 passes 10 yards, that safety has to man him up. So when he stutters, he thinking he may be running a basic route, which is a short dig, a stop route. So he got to go right by him because in essence, it's a man look.
It's a man look.
People don't realize, Care Bear. I talk to people all the time. They're like, oh, they're in zone. Zone is man. The only true zone defense is cover 2. That's the only true zone defense. Cover 3, it can play like man versus 3-by-1. Cover 4 is truly man. Like cover 4 is just you turn the man that comes into your zone into man cover.
You better have some smart guys on defense.
Right.
You get in trouble.
Like cover
4
6
is match.
That's all it is. Cover 6, on one side, it's kind of zone, but on the cover 4 side, it's man.
Matching principles.
The only true zone coverage in all of football, truly, is cover 2. That's the only true one. Cover 3, maybe, but the Seahawks play cover 3 to some degree like man. You know what I mean? Bobby Wagner was always looking for that deep over because you have to find a way to stop 4 verticals, and teams getting to 4 verticals. I'm not going to get football nerdy. It's the Speakeasy.
I'm not going to lie. If you play Madden, they just dropped so many gems on you. I had to do so much YouTube study and whatnot. they literally, if it's match or if it's zone, you're going to be able to tell. They have like the little thing. You got to look for those things you're playing Madden. You're trying to win some money off your friend.
You nice
but
in
I agree.
Madden?
I'm very nice in Madden.
I'll probably beat your ass.
We'll see. We'll see. Hey, you gonna
I'm
be
nice
surprised.
in Madden.
We gonna have to see. I'll air your ass.
I'm
out,
going
TJ,
home
I
to
swear.
play.
I'm telling you. Hey, give me the gamer tag. That's all I ask.
Say
Come on
less.
now.
Say
I'll
less.
get my TV tomorrow.
Yeah,
I just moved out here. You know what I mean? No, but definitely. I mean, Baker's been unbelievable this season. The plays that he's making. Like I said, I've been watching a lot of all 22. I paid for it. I got the subscription. But he's been unbelievable. How far do you think this season can this Bucks team go? Because they look very scary right now.
Bro, I think the Bucks are currently the scariest team. Bucks and the Lions, 2 scariest teams in the NFC. Reason I say the Bucks over the Eagles is because the Bucks have shown us continually they have the ability to beat the Eagles. You know, obviously they lost to them this year, but they definitely bludgeoned them. They made the Eagles draw blood a time or two. The Lions because of the running back room and Jahmyr Gibbs. But if Baker Mayfield keeps it up at this level, Bucks are as scary as any NFC team. Bucks, Eagles, Lions, I would say the 3 scariest NFC teams.
And then right after that, the Dallas Cowboys, baby. Let's go ahead and move the topic and conversation along. We had Jerry Jones showing what Jerry Jones does, flipping off some fans in New Jersey this past weekend.
And he let me know it's to you.
Yeah, it's
for
you right
you.
there. He said that was unfortunate. There was a
For
swarm
you,
of Cowboys fans out front. It was right after we made our last touchdown. I put up the wrong show of hand. The intention was thumbs up.
Oh
Jerry, you effing lying, and I know you are, but that's okay. Look, I have a hot take here, right?
Talk to me.
Jerry Jones, for as much as Cowboys fans do not like him, I believe is one of the most, if not the most caring owner in all of sports. He would never sell this team no matter how good the deal was. Why? Because he loves the Dallas Cowboys. He absolutely adores being the owner of the team, and he's the biggest fan of the team ever. The problem is fans shouldn't sometimes be running the team. Sometimes you need some businessmen to go out there and do some good things. But you know what? I'm cool with it. The NFL, though. The NFL saw this video, they fined him $250,000 for an obscene gesture. Unbelievable. How are we feeling? Now, that's pennies on the dollar for Jerry Jones.
Here's what I hate about fines. Let the money go to who is affected, not the league. Like, if you get a personal foul, if I got to pay $40,000 for a personal foul, let me pay who I personal fouled.
Boy, they love that.
Like, why am I paying Care Bear because I harmed T? Why am I paying T because I committed a crime against Care Bear?
I hear that.
Let me pay the person I committed a crime against. So where's that $250,000 going? Whoever he flicked off, let it go to that person. That's my only complaint. I hate that.
You from Texas? You a Cowboys fan?
I'm
I thought so. Now, I'll say that he deserved to be fined, and I say that because we do that as players. We for sure getting fined. No questions asked.
That's fair.
And to bring the viewers in, when we get fined, y'all, it ain't like we go write them a check and say, okay, here's the fine. They take it straight out your check. You don't even see the money. You get your check on Monday, minus whatever that fine is. And if it's more than what your weekly check is, they're gonna get it the next week also. And so for me, $250,000 to Jerry Jones, man, that's like $500 to the next person. To a player, that's $500.
Jerry,
and so he got off light. Jerry Jones got off light. He wanted to let him know, F you, and I'm talking to you, buddy.
Hey, Jerry, next time make it $500K. Give him double birds, man. Give him double birds. Let them know. This is what we do, baby. This is what we do. This is what football is all about. I don't think there should be fines for that, man. The players get to say, and this is my main. the fans get to say all this crazy stuff to the players, to the owners, to all of that. If I bark back a little bit, as long as I'm not putting my hands on them, I can say what I want to.
Hey, and they be saying some crazy stuff.
No, they be saying the craziest
Real
things
quick,
ever.
Care Bear, I missed the chat. I miss y'all. What y'all talking about? Give me two to three comments.
I got you.
Give me two to three comments real quick.
We got some stuff from the chat. We actually have a lot of questions from the chat. I was saving these for after the Cowboys topics. I had to get to them. But we had this one from NFL Matchup Highlights, a $20 super chat. He said, can we get TJ's top 5 man coverage corners that he faced during his career?
Real quick, T.
That's a good one. So I'm going to give you 2. And obviously, I played these dudes a lot. Ike Taylor.
Wow.
Lee Biden.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Y'all,
Okay.
You're a baby. You don't remember Lee Biden.
No, I remember Lee Biden.
So Lee Biden went to Duquesne, played with the Cleveland Browns, ended up leaving, go to the Patriots, and then the Detroit Lions. He was a real good corner. But the best man corner, Jonathan Joseph, he was my teammate. But the best man corner that I played against was Champ Bailey. I went against Champ. Me and Champ became real cool. But he's the best guy that I played against in my career,
ever,
corner-wise. I said 4?
Yep.
Yeah, 4.
Revis? You ain't named Revis yet.
Revis was young. I played against Revis, but it was his rookie year.
Yeah,
he was real young. Oh, man. What else would I say?
Play with Asante ever?
I'd probably say Chris McAllister.
That's a good one. That's a real good one. That's a real good
3 of those
one.
guys in my division. Champ Bailey wasn't, but I'd say Chris McAllister.
That's a real good one. I like that. What else you got?
Champ Bailey was a dog. Steelers fan dropped a $10 super chat and said if Fields stayed with the Steelers, he could have got the deal he wanted in a few years and won. He left for an extra 8, and he may never get another contract. How do we feel about that?
I know Fields' agent well, and he told me something I'll never forget. He called me after one of his clients signed a deal, and he said, Acho, and y'all listen to this, because I've never forgot it. I hope you never forget it either. He said, Acho, never rob a man his first fortune. Never rob a man his first fortune. And that stuck with me because there's no guarantee that Fields doesn't pull a Tyreek Hill and end up blowing out an Achilles or a knee and all these things. And that extra $8 million we're talking about flippantly could be that next generation's sum of wealth. So never rob a man his first fortune.
That gave him a lifetime of security.
They gave him
deal.
$30 million.
Yes,
if Fields does nothing else, plays nowhere else, accomplishes nothing else, but just gets that $30 million, he's secure for the rest of his life.
Exactly. And that guy is the best agent in football.
No question. No question.
Exactly. I think that's the difference, though. We as fans view the game from a completely different perspective than the people that are being offered this money. If I tell you to quit your bullshit ass job to go take a $30 million, you gonna do it. Even though you might know that it sucks, you gonna do it. I'm telling you. All right, we also got another $20 super chat from D-Ton. He says, Mike McDaniels calling plays in Philly would feed families.
Hold on.
Let me get that preset motion.
Hey,
you should be blocked from the internet.
Hey, D-Ton on to something with that one. If they got him, man, they going back to back to back.
If the Eagles got Mike McDaniels, I will never watch a game of football again in my life.
That creativity?
You should be...
Bruh. The Eagles offense, Jalen Hurts would eclipse 25 passing touchdowns finally. And that Eagles offense would go nuts.
Wow.
I like, hey, D-Ton, shout out to
D-Ton, you might got to, if this happened, you got to get paid for that.
Facts.
D-Ton, yeah, that was a great suggestion if you hate me. Appreciate it. We also got to talk about some non-football related things.
What happened?
Look, yesterday, I kind of alluded to it. LeBron James said that there was a second decision coming out. It turns out it was Hennessy. It was Hennessy. Now, look, I do have the first bottle, LeBron. Thank you for dropping another one. I will get the second one. You're the greatest of all time. I appreciate you, man. But do we have any words for LeBron James making this decision? It's VSOP, I believe, is the Hennessy.
Well, did you see what Enes Kanter said?
Yeah, no, attention-seeking LeBron. Nobody cares about your farewell tour. You're not Kobe. You're not loved like Kobe.
Damn, why are you mad, bro?
You're Enes Kanter at the end of the day, though. I'm not gonna lie. Enes Kanter, can y'all name the last team that Enes Kanter played for? I don't know. TJ, could you name the last team that Enes Kanter played for?
I was going to say the Grizzlies.
Enes Freedom?
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
This was dumb.
Yeah.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
Like, this was dumb. And the reason it was dumb, like, LeBron, you're LeBron. There's no amount of money that Hennessy could have paid you to have all of your loyal fans genuinely up in arms wondering if you're retiring. LeBron, you're LeBron. season ticket prices raised overnight because of this announcements that you made. And I can't imagine how many people spent hard-earned money on Lakers tickets just to have you announce that it's a Hennessy deal.
Yeah.
Like, let some low-level player who needs the money do that. Like, I'm tired of seeing these multi-billionaire athletes hit fans with the okey doke as if fans haven't dedicated time, hard-earned money, wages, and way too much emotional bandwidth into what these athletes are doing. I just think it was corny because you're LeBron James. You don't need to bait and switch us. If you want to promote a Hennessy, just promote the Hennessy. Like, don't come out here and do some whole second decision. Man, I got a lot on my mind. I can't wait to tell y'all that. And it's Hennessy. Now, we were smart enough to call it yesterday. We knew it was going to be alcohol, but T, I thought it was stupid. What you think?
Man, this how crazy it was. My son is like Karen here. He's the greatest. He's this. He the GOAT. I'm taking my son to school. He was like, do I really got to go to school? I want to see the announcement. I'm going to miss it. He was asking me, could he skip school so he could see the announcement today? And I said, nah, I'll tell you when you get... He gets out of school early today. He was like, a brand deal? ? That's what he sent me. And so, if you know how many people were anticipating this, thinking, my son thought he's going to announce this is my last season playing. That's what my son thought.
Yeah.
And he wanted to see it live instead of seeing it later. And so when he realized what it was for him a big letdown.
Yeah. This was dumb. Like, read the room. That's my only thing. Care Bears, like, read the room, bro. Like, what you thinking, bro?
I hear you. From a fan's perspective, LeBron, my favorite player. I completely get it. I think teasing it is kind of annoying. This is not the first time he's teased this type of announcement. Even whenever he was giving a speech at the ESPYs a couple of years ago. Oh, I'm happy to say that today is not that day. I think it can be a little bit corny. It can be a little bit cringe at times. But also, from a marketing perspective, you can say he would have dropped the new thing in Hennessy. Yes, Hennessy went crazy the first time. I'm a victim of consumerism. I will buy it. But this last time, I gotta give props, man. You had over 500,000 likes on the post within hours, and now Hennessy got their money's worth in terms of their brand. They paid him crazy for that,
for sure.
And I
agree with you. It's just unnecessary. Like, they probably gave him a $250 bill. I would hope, or you know what they really would have done? They would just give him equity. They gave him equity.
If this was you, I'm not gonna lie though. Acho, if this was you in the same exact position, greatest basketball player of all time, all of these things, and they tell you, yo, look, we want to tease this like second decision thing,
and we're gonna give you equity.
We're gonna give you $25 million for this thing.
But doesn't there come a point?
Don't lie.
Well, no. Here's why I say this. Not even lying. To me, your brand holds value. You know what I mean? Like, your brand holds weight. I don't know if you can sell out your brand. LeBron, you're pump faking on one of the biggest decisions in sports history.
Yeah.
Whenever LeBron decides to retire, that will be one of the biggest decisions in the history of the game of basketball. That's not something to play with. And I say that with you being one of the biggest LeBron James fans. Like, bro, LeBron, when you retire, that will be genuinely maybe the biggest sports moment in the last 15, 20 years.
It'll be the worst day of my life.
Why pump fake that? To me, there's just no amount of money to be like, ha, got y'all. Like, there's just no amount of money to pump fake. That's like faking a death. That's just...
I get what you're saying, and I like the fact you mentioned his brand. LeBron James. Sorry, doing this with the fans is LeBron James's brand. The decision, no other basketball player, no other athlete in history has had an entire ESPN special segment to decide where they're going in free agency. That's a LeBron James thing. LeBron James, he came to LA, wanted to play for the Lakers, historic franchise and whatnot, but also so he can get into movies and do it, film production companies and all these other things. It's LeBron James. This is a part of his brand. Him being over the top, dramatic, all of these things, that is LeBron James.
That's a great point.
That is LeBron. It just is what LeBron James is. And the thing is, I think that's on us. I think the onus is on us to be more privy. I mean, we saw it coming. I think the onus is on us to be more privy to these types of things happening in the future. It is upsetting, though, like you said, for your son to be like, dang, I want to see what happens. And it's like some alcohol, like Hennessy. What's going on?
Hold on. Is that not immature? Like, Tom Brady, you could suggest, got so mad that Adam Schefter leaked his retirement that he played another season. Played Players don't play with their retirement. Y'all remember, Adam Schefter jumped the gun after Tom Brady lost a playoff game. He comes back for another season.
Yeah.
Usain Bolt, when he retires, and Usain Bolt, the greatest of what he does, albeit not LeBron James, but like, let me throw it like this. Messi's not doing this. Ronaldo's not doing this. They know that so many people love and hold on to what they do that Messi's not going to like tie up some gold cleats, set them down, and then be like, psych, you know, that
It's
was
the new
an
Adidas launch. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I hear what you're saying. On the flip side, that bald man from the 90s retired and went and played baseball out of nowhere. Then he retired again. Then he came back again. Basketball fans are used to this. They're used to having their players be over the top. They're used to their players being superstars and all of these other, and also very much involved in the media. I think it is what it is. I do agree with you, though. I will agree with you. With LeBron James, this is probably the last time I want to see you tease your retirement. If you actually don't retire, let us know. He said that he's not going to do the farewell season thing. I want the farewell tour. You owe it to the game to give the game a farewell tour. Overall, though, I'm not that upset, and I'm very just excited to try the Hennessy. I'm not going to lie. I love the Hennessy. I'm a big fan of the Hennessy.
Bring it to the speakeasy, then. Bring it to the speakeasy.
I might have to. We got to talk about one more thing before we get up out of here. Look, losing sucks, but then having the entire country just dunk on you, whether just or not, sucks even more. And what frustrates me about it is the fact that these people, you know, they do too much. The New York Times and The Athletic dropped an article today, and the headline says, many people are having a bad year in college football, but Arch Manning is having one of the worst. The quarterback has gone from preseason Heisman Trophy favorite and projected #1 NFL draft pick to a man synonymous with failure. This is a man 5 games into his first season starting as a quarterback in college, and we are saying that he is synonymous with failure. Acho, your reaction to this? Is this criticism fair or just, or is it far too harsh?
It's the dumbest thing I've seen in my life. If you want to talk about failure, DJ Uiagalelei, who replaced Trevor Lawrence and the whole world thought he was going to be the next generational talent, and he goes to 2 more colleges after leaving Clemson, that was failure. You want to talk about what Arch Manning did? Spencer Rattler got replaced by a freshman. Turned out to be Caleb Williams, but then Spencer Rattler was supposed to win the Heisman, ends up leaving Oklahoma. I think he goes to South Carolina, becomes a 5th-round pick. He was actually supposed to win the Heisman. Arch Manning was just talk. That was failure. Arch Manning has 11 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. His team's 3-2. He lost to Ohio State, probably the best team in college football. He lost to Florida in Gainesville. Is he struggling right now? Yes. Synonymous with failure, T? That's dumb. It's overreactive, it's highly insensitive, and it's just a little OD, especially from the New York Times.
Yeah.
They're 3-2. If Texas was 0-5, 5 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, hey, different conversation. But they're 3-2. He has 8 touchdowns, 2 interceptions versus the lowest tier teams. He has 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions versus Ohio State and Florida. He plays average. That's literally average. A 57% completion percentage, 3 touchdowns, 3 picks versus Ohio State versus Florida in the losses. 8 touchdowns, 2 interceptions in the wins. He's 3-2. It's not a failure. Overrated? Sure. Overhyped? Absolutely. Failure? Everybody relax.
Can I say something here too, TJ, before you go? This is my problem, Macho. The Athletic is the same publication that said Texas might be the new Bama before this season. The Athletic is the same organization that was putting out mock drafts with Arch Manning going first. The Athletic was pushing this Arch Manning agenda over and over and over and over and over again, and then you release this. Why in the world? And he's not even through his entire season. We have other Heisman favorite players. Kay Klubnik, is he having a good year right now?
Terrible.
They were a top 5 team as well.
Nico
dropped out of the rankings.
Maleava.
I'm sorry, Nico the past couple of seasons. Well, he got a big win this past week.
Sure.
But I get what you're saying. Drew Aller.
Terrible.
We've had these types of situations happen with other quarterbacks. Yet the one that y'all hyped up more than anyone. And look, I'm a Texas fan. I'm responsible for hyping him up a little bit. But also at the same time, you're releasing on the same in the same publication all these, he's amazing, he's the greatest thing ever, all this other stuff. And as soon as he starts playing bad, You're calling him a man synonymous with failure and asking if he was college football's first flop.
That's dumb.
Are you out of your mind?
That pisses me off because, like, they really built him up to completely tear him down.
Yes.
And my coaches will say this all the time. Hey, don't let them pat you in the back too long because eventually those pats turn into stabs. And so, like, what the Times did was, hey, Art, you great. You grow 1 pick. Oh, 2 picks. Oh, you just lost to Florida and Ohio State? Now we gonna kill you.
Yeah.
This is stupid. It's stupid.
It's dumb.
It's hard to be a failure when the book is still being written. How can I fail a test and I'm not even done with the test? I'm still taking the test. The test isn't complete. Paul Feinbaum, before college football started, said Arch Manning was going to win the Heisman. Put all that pressure on him. Put all the expectations on him. And when it didn't happen, it was like, whoa, Arch Manning sucks. No, you guys put undue pressure on a young man that had yet to start a full season of college football. He's still taking the test. The book is still being written.
Yeah.
And so I'm not a big reader. My wife is in the book club, and never at the first or second chapter is she gonna say, this book sucks, I'm done.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You're gonna finish the book.
That's a good point.
And then we'll say, okay, it was a good book, it was a failure, it was whatever. He's still taking the test. Give this young man some time to say, oh, he's synonymous with failure. He's a flop. No, it's too early in his story. It's too early in his career. But we live in a society where we always want to beat people down. We want to step on their head. I hope he plays well. He's expected to play well, but when Paul Feinbaum said Arch Manning is winning the Heisman, Arch Manning is going to be the first pick, put undue pressure on the young man.
You know what I'll say, because that's beautifully said, is this. Shout out to Arch for never calling for attention.
Yep.
I was always wondering, Arch had the highest NIL valuation. I think it was second to Shedeur Sanders and maybe Livy Dunn 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But he never did commercials. He never did ads. He never did nothing. I'm like, Arch, bro, you missing out on $5 to $10 million a year, bruh. Mind you, maybe you don't need it because your last name. But now, imagine if he would have done those things, it would have been even worse. Instead, he hid in the shadows, and I respect it.
Who was the first person to come out with the Arch Manning media hype and all that other stuff to really go out there and put something out there and say, I feel like it's undeserved? Arch himself. Arch Manning himself, in his first big press release, the first time he did any sort of interviews, in an interview with Red Bull and Marty Smith, I remember, my friends were there. He's like, how do you feel about all this offseason pressure and how we feel? I feel like it's undeserved. I haven't really done anything yet. That's been his mentality. We're dunking on the kid through 5 games whenever he's trying to do the things that everyone's hyped him up to do. Everybody had these ideas, and I'm guilty of it. The media is guilty of it. Everyone's guilty of it, of putting all the expectations on the kid to think that he's going to be this otherworldly, world beater, all these other things. This past weekend, I'm sorry, you cut on the all-22, left guard's getting his face run through the entire time. We're rotating offensive linemen. He got pressured more than any other Power 4 quarterback in the country this season.
It's unfair.
It's ridiculous.
It's unfair. And
it's all on him though. I can't agree with it. I cannot agree with it. It's crazy.
College student still taking the test, people. He's still taking the test. It's not complete.
I feel bad for the kid, but the only thing I will say is this. When he turns it around next season, he will get all of the praise. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going to praise the running back next year, and we're not going to praise the wide receivers, and we're not going to praise the offensive line. Quarterbacks get all the praise, so they get all the blame. Had he balled, he would have got the Heisman. Nobody would have talked about the offensive line. Nobody would have talked about the running back room. Nobody would have talked about the offensive coordinator. They would only talk about Arch. So, though it is undue, it's the nature of the beast, bro.
Let's make sure the praise is as loud as the hate whenever we figure this situation out next season.
We're
winning the net. I hope. I really hope. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get to last call. We got to close up the bar. What an absolutely great show we've had tonight. We're going to leave you guys with some last thoughts. Acho, you want to leave us with anything?
My last thought, bro, before we get up out of here. I will say this. If the world would have said by week 5, Shedeur Sanders would be QB2. Remember, he started off as QB4 in July and in August. QB2 by week 5, week 6, I would say that's a win for Shedeur and for the Sanders family. So my last call, my last final thought, all is well that ends well. Shedeur sitting at QB2 right now. That's a great place for him to be in. Dylan Gabriel, I hope he balls. If he never stops balling, Shedeur is going to be right there. He'll probably start a game. I predicted before the season he would start by week 14. It seems like it might be sooner now. My last thought.
TJ, you got any last thoughts for us?
Last thoughts, Joe Flacco. Very simple. We need this win this week, baby.
That's what it is. That's what it is for the Bengals. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I don't really have any more last thoughts. I got them all out, and that drink is hitting me that I chugged earlier. It's crazy. If you guys are in the chat right now still, make sure you guys hit that like button before you get up out of here. Hit the subscribe button and hit the bell button to be notified when we are going live next. We'll be right back here tomorrow with more Speakeasy action at 11:15 p.m. Eastern, 8:15 p.m. Pacific, 9:15 p.m. Mountain, and
do your math.
10:15
Do your
p.m.
math,
Central.
Care-Bear.
I know how to do
Do
math.
your math,
I graduated
Care-Bear.
high school with a diploma.
Yes, he
We'll
did.
see you next time.
Shout out Duncanville High. You know it.
D-Ville.
You know it.